Hello, welcome back to the channel. Hope this finds you well wherever you're at. My past, your future, and it's just about happy Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving. I hope you have something to be thankful for, and if not, I hope you're working to get yourself fed. From here, I want to front load this and say I'm going to orchestrate a poetry submission and poetry reading. See, it used to be back in the day, organizing and orchestrating such things took like a publication and a committee and all these people who take up time and money. But now, since it's quite easy to collect what's available, and what I think non-poets don't understand is that this is just what poets do for free and for fun, and that's part of why there's no money in it. Also because words are worth nothing and they're everywhere, just like images. But that's not where we're going here. It's not a contest, and it's not looking for material, just in case anyone stumbles along and is unfamiliar with the channel, what's going on here. I already have probably dozens of hours of original material recorded, including my own writing and poetry, so it's not about that. And by that I mean, if you would like to submit your poetry here, I'll provide a link. You can check in the low bar. I'll put it on the screen, and to another email. And if you want to submit your poetry, just to have it read just by me on this thing here, I'll give you full credit, include your name, some about yourself if you like, um, and then a poem. Hopefully, it's got to be reasonably, maybe a few paragraphs, depending on the format and this and that. I'm open to you submitting anything. Just know that if it's really long, I might have to, not read it or just shorten it. And from here, I'd say you can submit it in another language, but I'm just going to use Google Translate to translate it. So don't do that. Just submit it in English if you have a poem in English to submit. And then from there, also, I was going to suggest a theme or a main subject matter, but it seemed kind of unnecessary, especially when the world is as it is and poets as their own points of origin can speak for themselves. And it's not just that the poets can think for themselves and speak for themselves. It's also just getting an honest lay of the land. See what the world looks like mapped through many different eyes and many different places in time, right? So rather than trying to put some hokey theme, or kind of, I guess everything tends in that corporate direction, right? And poetry, in case anyone isn't sure or doesn't know, it's only written and read by something like 2%, maybe a little bit more these days by the population, but generally it's just not needed because people have advertising and marketing and TypeScript and pseudo art and whole music videos that play as commercials on YouTube now. That was an interesting one I caught recently. So it's like, they don't need poetry. So for the people who do it, it's something unique and special to them and their type, right? So I wanted to get just a lay of the land, see where the poets are at these days. I know Plato banished you guys a long time ago, and you make your livings where you can, and that's always been the case. No different than the musicians and everyone else. But I welcome you to submit your poetry to the channel here. Now, I don't want to, I welcome any, like I said, subject matter or theme. If it seems like a bit too much, and I'm not trying to make a judgment, good, bad, right, or wrong, because these are matters of values and taste and real people's real experience and perceptions of reality. So I don't care what you submit. You're welcome to do anything. Just, I hope that you would be able to stand by and put your name by it. If you don't want to put your name on it, you don't have to. But what it'll be is, if you want to submit your poetry for me to read here, and if you want to also clarify the meter to me, right? If it's not apparent, you might want to do that. If not, you're just leaving me to read it, in which case I'll do my best dramatic interpretation. And I say that in the sense that, I don't mean to do it in any pretentious or silly or overly dramatic, like a play actor, let's say, not a reading like that, but just in the sense that I don't think other people understand outside what poets kind of do, is that I would say something like, poetry isn't just words, because words kind of originated as names and as, what do you call it, ways, the basic phonemes, even in our language, English. Like, it's meant to keep track of things. It's a record keeping language. It's a number language. It's a fact language. It otherwise makes no sense by themselves as pieces, right? It's a nonsensical language in some sense. What the poet's doing is closer to not just symbolic and coded and personal language and the creating of meaning in worlds within worlds, but it's a highly personal thing, and it's an interim step in between just talking or singing in music or something fully fleshed out like theater or any other dramatic production. It is writing that is on its way to some sort of dramatic conclusion or production, is what I'm saying. So, in light of that notion, that's, and how perfect, I guess, in a light speed culture when you don't have to wait for publishers or other people to curate the stuff for you. You can put your own work out there. You could also submit it other places that may or may not take it. But I'm welcoming all comers here, American, non-American. If you have poems that you want to submit for me to read here, I plan on doing that. And that's here at our poetry congregation here at the End of Times. And again, that's Sharper Submissions. You know the word sharper like a knife, SHARPER, submissions, SUBMISSIONS at gmail.com. And I'll put all that information again where relevant. And from there, I don't know, I'm not promising a time frame. If I have enough submissions to put something together, sooner than not, I plan on doing that. If not, I might have to delay it a month if people take that long, whatever the case may be. But either way, I welcome your submissions. Again, I'll go over the criteria one more time. If you want to provide your name, a real one or otherwise, or just say nameless. If you want to provide a title, or like a lot of artists, they don't even think about titling till after the fact. So if it's untitled, just leave it as untitled, number, whatever. If it's got a title, put the title. If you want me to catch the meter specifically, better tell me what it is. If not, you're leaving it to my discretion. I'll do my best to represent whatever it is. It's the feeling tones and the resonance of the situation and the story is, let's say. If you also have like if you have a really short story or something even kind of like flash fiction-y, I'm also willing to accept that and maybe consider that in line with prose poetry, if you will. So, or even something clever like Hemingway's famous story, Baby Shoes for Sale was tasty, right? We have those kinds of things are welcome to as submissions, and I'll take them as a sign of the times and the schizoid decay. Everything else, poetry, prose poems are welcome. They can be as long as you want, but if you can imagine other people submitting, be reasonable. If not, I'll chop it down to something short. If you want to submit 2 or 3, maybe I'll even, choose from that if you have more than one that you like. But if not, just submit one and I'll take the one and, I'll give you credit, all that good stuff, and just kind of go from there. If you're concerned about people stealing your work or whatever, you probably shouldn't be, because again, who cares? People have Chat GPT now. They always stolen from each other all along anyway. And for a poet, it'd probably be something just to have their work read or heard in whatever capacity, especially these days when all our highest arts and values have been completely bought out and sold out and now exist as, people don't need poetry. They have type copy, they have scripts, they have essays, they have marketing, right? They have the same old things to assure them that what they buy and sell is good and good for them. I'm Zach Markowski. This is Sharper Pen Image Consulting. We're interested in human critique, style, art, literature, literary analysis. And if we're fortunate enough to be here tomorrow, I'll say it again, happy Thanksgiving. And maybe I'll see you then or on the next one. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I think you have to hit buttons and things to let YouTube know to notify you. But that's just what I heard. Anyway, take care. Thanks. Bye.